Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. We have gone from tens of thousands of teams down to the top 500 and now down to the top 50, competing to be the best of the very best from the European region and to claim that first place spot as well as $16,000 here at the DreamHack Open featuring Fortnite. I'm your host, Kelly Link, and of course we got Shy Wager and Balla TW calling all of the action, and my goodness, you know, Teak and Seti, it looked like they were going to be kind of running away with it. They got 2 victory royales, but Noah Riley and Vidil stealing first place away right now. I'm sure we're going to be seeing them up in the highlight reel real soon, but they actually didn't get the victory royale right there. It went to Krusty's team.
Yeah, you were saying we called all of the action. It was all of the action. A high ground retake, absolute low ground frenzy with all the elims from Nate and Andalex. Like, it was too much to handle.
Buff.
You asked in that last game, you asked, what can happen to Teak and Seti? Well, Thomas HD and Tayson can W key them when they need Surge out of Dirty Docks. That's the thing. You have to know where people are going to be going through on their Surge paths. And with the way that Duos is working right now, with it basically being new to everybody in the last 2 seasons, this is what happens. You put yourself right in the path of some of the best fighters in the game, and you end up falling. There, actually, we saw Seti go down. That was the end of him. It was Clement. He didn't go for the reboot at all, but final moments, Krusty and Relvis, they pushed their way into contention for top 10.
Yeah, they're in the top 8 now at the moment. Relvis and Krusty, 135 points. The question is, will they stay in there? You can check out those boards to see. Kelly, it's Vidil and Noah Riley up top.
Not a surprise, but what is a surprise is how far ahead they are from the rest of the competition. 53 points separates Vidil and Noah from second place, which is, of course, Seti and Teak. They are definitely not out yet, but look at those elimination points. Look at what Vidil and Noah are able to do compared to the rest of the teams that you see up here. In third place, it is going to be Paco and Kami. Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage are going to be holding up in fourth place. And jumping into the 5th place spot, it's Kura and Bad Sniper.
And something to note about Vidil and O'Reilly's lead, you mentioned the elimination points, but the way that their playstyle is working right now, it's making it so that they have to rely on these W keys to get all the way through, because game after game, it is inconsistent. Sure, they're now at 53 points in the lead, but we've seen them end up falling in, 10th place, 17th place, these types of places.
23rd.
Where, 23rd in one of those games as well. The thing is that they still have 7 eliminations when they fall in those positions, which is enough to at least maintain a decent lead. So this almost looks like it might be locked and over with if they continue to do what they're doing.
I don't know. We thought Seti and Teak had a decent lead, and now they're all the way down, only 5 points ahead of Paco and Kami. Although I do still think these top 3 teams right here, maybe Benji Fishy and Mr. Savage, if they're able to get a victory royale and 10 eliminations possibly, but there's only 2 games left. We can no longer say that this is anyone's game because it's not. Mathematically speaking, correct. A lot of these teams can no longer make it even into the top 5. So with that being said, gentlemen, do you think that this is now Vidil and Noah Riley 100%?
I think we might end up being in that situation, right? I think this is the last game for them to put themselves in a position where it's locked up, no matter what happens. If they have another good game, like they just did, then it is going to be that situation. Game 6 might not even matter. But obviously the rest of the teams are going to do fight. It really depends what Noah Riley can do. What Noah Riley and Vidil can do in this game. I think they are going to do it.
I hope so. I really don't actually see. I mean, we see Noah time and time again at the.
Kelly wants to call it wraps. She's like, I'm done. I'm going to come at 4 a.m. today.
All right. Well, we're not going to be wrapping it up here just yet, everyone. We do have 2 games to go for the DreamHack Open. If you guys are just joining us for the first time here, first of all, welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let us know in chat who you think is going to be walking away with the first place prize. And also, if you want to be a part of the action next week, starting on Thursday, we're going to be jumping over the pond to North American East, and it's going to be duos all over again. And then after that, it's going to be North American West the following week. And don't worry if you're from Europe or from anywhere around the world, because it's not region locked. So anyone here can be a part of the action, and we really do hope to see you up there because we love to see new names jump up on top. But I don't think we're going to be seeing any new names right now because these top 3 teams are definitely running away with it. Will they stay up on top after game number 5? Well, we're going to find out because that's going to be starting after this break.
Game number 5 is moments away, and we might be moments away if we continue to watch this game and see Noah Riley and Vidil play the way they are. Might be moments away or a game away from declaring a winner here in the DreamHack Open first time duos grand finals.
It could all wrap up before game 6 even starts, and that is insane to say. And it's because Vidil and Noah Riley are not only finessing these end games, but playing early to mid so aggressively, so well.
And it feels like every single time it's a new team landing on them in Doom's domain. And once again, it is Wolfies and CRR will be the brand new challengers this game. And that is probably the most formidable force we've seen thus far for Vidil and Noah Riley. Can they overcome this? And if they do, we might be seeing everything locked up for them right off the bat.
It's like a fighting game ladder, and they finally, reached the last mission, the final boss, really. We'll see if they can take him down. All the buffs are in place. It'll be a difficult fight. Past that, though, Save It Browner, Joel, and Visitor, the most consistent 50-50 we've been seeing today at Caddy Corner. And this time, it's very different. Slightly scuffed for Save It. Browner landing it towards the backside. They're going in organized this time. Save It cannot find a gun, though. This is going to be slightly scary. There we go. It's an AR. Has a chest to boot as well. They've been picking up an elim each throughout the whole day. It's got them a few points here and there. We'll be close to that top 10. In top 15 currently are Save It and Browner.
It's so interesting how Caddy Corner has shifted to, the positional play between the south, the gas station, and the north main building because of the way that Kit spawns. This duo season, it looks like, there's a weather station threat. Nobody's really landing on the south side. Everybody's playing for that main building, and each side is splitting. Some of the food, some of the carton and consumables that come out. Here you go, though. Visitor pushing on to Save It and Browner, who actually took the porta potty out towards the south. And I like that. The gas station to break out some, but no builds here for Save It. This is it. Browner probably in the same situation. Visitor and them, they're going to have at least something.
They farmed up a little bit, and they still continue to, at least Visitor. All the way towards the back, though, there's insurance. Joel is nowhere close to this. They'll be looking for beams, and it's all just wood materials for Browner and Save It. They're looking to just explode off of this. They get up, but yes, here are the beams. Save It now just left on one material. Joel backs down. They go for the pinch, but the sidewall is open. Joel needs to start spraying. He doesn't, and Visitor goes down.
Take the opportunity to 1v2. Grave and Shakos are coming off of Weather Station 2, so they got to be careful. They've actually pushed their way closer to them, closer to opportunities for them to fire upon. Joel's got to be careful. And they aren't coming. Shockwave's on top. Full third party coming in. And Save It and Brown are going to try to disengage off the back. Yes, they're going to go for the porta potty that they started from. And here we go. Out and away. Joel is left to fend for himself, and back towards the north side they go. And a disengage to potentially one of the rifts over towards the collectors area. Yes, that's the direction they're facing.
Man, it was almost like 40,000 people used to drop here. Now it's just an absolute ghost town. It used to be like fights all around that were so organized. Now it's just kind of like modern warfare completely. Scuffed explosives all around. Here's Gray getting shot down once again. A big pump to the face. An entirely different duo testing, Save It and Browner. But as you mentioned, they're just trying to rotate off. I think they've got everything they want from here. They need to just back off and farm mats. Thomas HD and Taysom.
I'm actually surprised that team backed off. Shakos and crew. But it's because basically they had no information on the duo that rotated away, and because they kind of postured and said, hey, we're still ready to fight, even though they weren't. That mind game makes it work. Like you were saying about Thomas and Taysom.
I'm just looking at like their situation once again. Doesn't look like they're going to be fighting anywhere near the Storm and Dirty Docks. We saw this in game number 1, and everything actually went very well there, I believe. I can triple check up on that one. But
they were in a fight randomly, and no, actually, it was completely random teams rotating in. It had nothing to do with Thomas and Taysom, the early game fight that we saw here. They were gone, and I think this might be why. So many teams are now relying so much on actually fishing to get those purple pumps because the spawn rate is just so high right now. And also potentially looking for the sharks for RPGs. The rarity of them, very low, but when you do get that, it's kind of crazy. Changes your ideas and your options drastically.
sort of different story over at Sweaty Sands between Nate Andalex, Pablo, and Munch. Both duos we see survive off spawn multiple games. Nate and Andalex, we already saw in that last game and in multiple games really, when they're together, they're slightly more split apart, but because of that, they have insane angles in these end game box rotations to get so many elims. Oh, they're pushing. We move over to Ruin, so there's already a fight breaking down. It's a three-way fight. Look, my aim. We have X Squeeze and then Savage and Benji with a big pinch from the top and the ultimate low ground.
And that trap that was set in Sweaty Sands actually works out. Nate was moving in to upgrade his pump, but he had no clue there was another team there. Now we focus in on this three-way fight. As it starts, Savage is gonna get the wall. Yes, look, my aim does miss the shot though. Uncharacteristic, but the pre-fire. The pre-fire is so good for Savage. And you don't take that. You do not take that peek against one of the best in the games when you know it's them at Ruins.
I think had an X Squeeze knew too. They tried something in the beginning, but they used Look My Aim's kind of unfortunate demise to run away, make it way past the river before they can actually end up getting shot. They get to play their game out without getting their shields tagged up by a monstrous duo over at the Ruins.
That might have been a switch up, although the time in this game and based on the loadout of Mr. Savage and Benji, I'm guessing that they were here. No, look at all these builds inside the Ruins. This must have been somebody contesting them, somebody switching things up, much like Wolfies and CRR did onto Doom's Domain. I wonder how that actually unfolded. My biggest fear right now is that Wolfies is as Wolfies does, and it's classic Doom's Domain going into zone at the vault. That's my biggest fear right now.
The fact that there's not too many duos that are down yet, I think might put those fears to ease.
No, I think that's even more fear,
worse?
bro.
Oh,
yeah. Okay. They have it.
They're by themselves. They're chilling.
I'm looking at the arrows, like just trying to find anybody of different color. O'Reilly has the legendary pump, the legendary AR, 6 shockwaves. You know they got access to the vault, but where did CRR and Wolfies go then? Is my question, because they didn't get the elims.
Did they get
right now, Vidil and O'Reilly are just hunting.
Could be. I mean, 1 of 4 duos. But at the same time, I think that maybe they landed at the North house or maybe at one house and completely disengaged. We see that happen sometimes. Maybe that's why Noah Riley's going up north. He knows there's a guarantee of a duo.
It's just not it's not characteristic of CRR and Wolfies to play like that though. But maybe they just got God loot out of the Benji Savage Let's split and just went from there. We're like, we're gonna go WK Salty right now, but in the feed, we actually saw our game 4 winners, Krusty, go down. Noah Riley and Vidil are on the warpath once again. They have not lost a fight, not lost one of these mid-game fights, pretty much ever today. Over 4 games. Now, once again, they're entering in a third party. Orb might have turned around at the perfect opportunity, but no, they're going right into them. Noah Riley says they've actually spotted us, so they go for it. Rift up in the north. They check, nobody there. Jets going to Orb. This is dangerous. This is risky. Going to the water right now where there's also another team already posted up on the beach. That's 7tor and Link.
I'm wondering who that team flying in is as well. This could be a trap setup for Noah Riley and Vidil. The only things we've seen work against top trios that make end games are these type of pseudo traps around the map where you wait for them to push onto you. It happened to Nate and Andalex earlier.
I don't know if that fight concluded, but what I do know is that Noah Riley and Vidil are playing with a renewed sense of caution because of their lead. 53 points ahead right now. If this was earlier, we might see them completely W key in, but no, they wait for that team to disengage and wait for this to be a favorable engagement. Vidil and Link, or Vidil and Noah Riley re-engaged onto Link and 7tor, who thought they were safe on the beach, but no, it is not their day. They will have to fight 2 of the best fighters in the game, and Link already low HP, low shield, I should say. And I don't think they have anything to back that up.
Let's break it down. They're so far away on different sides of this fight. Link and 7tor are also separated. Rams dropping down into boxes as well. Here's Noah Riley going for complete control. It's almost there. Doesn't actually just sink all the way in. It's now an isolated 1v1 for both players. Seventor is struggling to keep it up and alive. He backs up way towards lane. Noah Riley's still looking for an in. And my God, off the top side, off the top rope, he comes down with a huge pump shot and lands another 2 and a third to wrap it up with Seventor. It's too easy for Vidil and Noah Riley.
Noah Riley, just a split pixel, a tiny pixel, and he makes it a dead one. The head of Seventor taken off with a fraction of a second, frame perfect for Noah Riley and Vidil, and they wipe that fight clean. An important one too. If they continue on this path, like they 100% will, this is gonna be wraps. Kelly said, is it going to happen? It will. Down in the bottom left, we see the trap set for Nate, and he's gone and out. It's Munch and Pablo Wingu who pushed their way in. We talked about that Dirty Docks fight earlier in the game. It was them, actually, who were stuck in the zone.
Up top 2 right now for Vidil and Noah Riley. The only kind of, I would say, anti-height removers for anyone that has control, really, not even height. Just the first place removers in the end game have been taken out. Tapix and Milan, the 5th zone warriors, down.
Ooh. Benji is getting close. It's gonna be a crash pad. Yes, Nike board. This has happened before, but once again, Benji misses the shot. Savage 2, and now he's down. Savage is the 1v2, and does he do it?
Does not.
No,
he does not.
Sandy is able to clean it up. He gets 1, but Benji and Savage had an opportunity to come back in this tournament. Now it's gone. They've got 1 game left, and they are frozen in time at 193 points.
Pura, Bad Sniper, Snazy, Robabs, Skype, Alconly, some trios that can move up. Here are one of them. A big knock on the Shuzi. This is huge. Every elim from this duo matters. The Train Hard squad. And it's Soup on the back foot in these builds. He's gonna get rolled. There's no chance. They're gonna hunt this down too, I think. Or at least maybe camp that card. They're in zone. It's the edge side. No one else is coming through either. Cammy's off in the distance too, so a lot of high profile targets here who are trying to get towards that first place. Blackie going down in the feed. Kind of a 3-party scenario going down there, whatever that fight's going forward. But there's still 75 alive. I would assume by this point, the games will kind of deteriorate. People will be keying a little bit more. The fights are still strategic. Everyone is trying to hold on. Past first place, it is still neck and neck, point to point for all these teams in this tournament.
We started this game off with 2 teams falling and then basically quiet until Noah Riley and Vidil ended up pushing through. All of a sudden, that's kind of gone into chaos, but you're right. It's not chaos. It's controlled. It's calculated. Skite and Falconly taking a fight on top of a hill where they know nobody will push. Ooh! Big Elim in the feed. Seti. Seti is in a fight with Lucia and crew. So it's all left to Teak. Teak in second place. He did hang on in game number 4 against Paco and Cammy. But right now, it's looking like they are not going to hang on anymore whatsoever.
I know exactly what happened too, just by looking at that last game and where they got elimed in this one. It's the fear of being in first or the fear of being near the top. It makes you change your play style. I mean, we saw it with Vidil Noah Riley. That fear, I think, kept them in check. But it sent Seti and Teak way over the edge.
Oh, this is uncharacteristic. You never see them this late in the game, still in Weeping Woods, so something has changed. Teak, 0 materials. Right on the edge of zone, Lucia's got him, and he completely finishes it. He's got him in a box, got him in a trap. No builds to actually outlast that. And Lucia and Omega will get the spoils from Teak and Seti, but also knock that team down. The only team now who has a chance, a hope, a dream of catching Vidil and Noah Riley is Paco and Cammy.
Nah, it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up from this dream talk. They would need to win, and Vidil and Noah Riley would have to go down before that top 25 comes through. That's just not it. It's not reality. That is dreamland. And are you wide awake, Balla? I'm wide awake.
Fully wide
it's not
awake.
happening.
Well, the probabilities of that might be very, very thin. And for right now, we're really not seeing that. We're getting ever closer to those placement points starting to be doled out. 25th in terms of teams is where it needs to be. But really, a lot of those top teams right now are out. Benji, Fishy, Savage, out. Seti and Teak, out. Adil and Noah Riley, where are they? Are they continuing their warpath? If I'm looking at this correctly, if I'm guessing correctly, I bet you they're over towards Salty Springs. Oh, they got Taste in a box. What? How does that happen in the staircase? The staircase of doom. Nike and Zandy find one of the better players, a former solos champion, by a stroke of luck almost. And now not only have they eliminated Tayson, but they've also eliminated Mr. Savage and Benji. So you talk about solo prowess. Nike has just eliminated 3 of those who basically come to mind when you talk about top 5 solo players. In any case, duos though, not working out for either of those teams.
And honestly, these 3 teams on my mind, Benji, Savage, we just saw Tayson go down, as well as Chapix and Milan. I would say the 3 only hard upsetters in this region right now for that top 10. And with all of them out, it just looks like a completely freeway or a completely free freeway for Vidil and Noah Riley to ride. What can stop them? There's absolutely nothing. Although these teams right now are really good, you know, Scram and Rev Squad, I think, are maybe the last team that can really just perhaps dive into their box to stop things over. It's just not going to be possible.
I mean, you talked about how everybody has kind of changed their playstyle going into these last 2 games. Played a little bit more cautious, a little bit more scared when you're up at the top. For Noah Riley and Vidil, they've been playing that way the entire time, so nothing has changed. In fact, it's gotten better for them. We watched Putrick get knocked out. He was just outside the top 10.
Notice the pattern. Static versus dynamic. Static are the 24 duels on the map right now, all in their boxes, already based up, looking for good positions in the zone. They're inside the white circle. There's one duel only that's being dynamic, in my opinion. That is Vidil and Noah Riley. 5th game in a row. You mentioned it. They're not only playing cautiously and the same, they're going for edge zone fights. They're still on the move. Everyone is at a standstill. They're on a move, they stop, they assess, they fight. Over and over and over. And that's why no one can dive into their boxes. They are the box divers, essentially, without even crash pads.
You have to put it this way, basically. Noah Riley and Vidil have boxed up 1 time from Doom's domain on their path all the way here. Obviously, within fights, sure, they're boxing up, but positionally, they're not deciding to stop ever. That's what you're talking about.
And you know who went down from boxing up more than once? Seti and Teak. Who else went down from a box this time? Savage and Benji. From fighting afterwards and then just assessing everything after the fact. Right now, Bat Sniper and Kura in a box. They're getting closer to 200 points, looking for the top 3. But even Milan and Chapix, boxed up looking for surge tags, dive down on. It is very dangerous, even though it seems safe. Noah Riley and Vidil, you're right, avoiding all of that.
And being efficient with it too. Every new position is extra materials spent. What would be the 100% call it? What would be the gap that Noah Riley and Vidil need to overtake? First place, so just call it for them.
It's just done? Oh, okay. Based on like who's live right now? Like Cammy and Paco? Like that's it? Like that type of duo? That
just basically like what is the lead that they, no matter who?
No matter who? Okay. I'm saying 100 points.
Yeah. Which isn't even that much, by the way. That's what they got in their first game.
Yeah.
We were close to it. It was 20 points off, I believe.
But
we haven't seen one of those crazy duos, you know, wins with 15 elims or anything like that you normally see in the semifinals. We haven't seen that today yet. Which is a sign that it's not going to happen unless you're Vidil and Noah Riley.
They're the only duo that can do it right now. No one else is just really going for, you know, isolated fights. No one's playing that way. The only people who are repeatedly getting into those fights, I would say, are Zandy and Nightboard. But they're always on the defensive end of it. They're never searching out for fights. Somehow, no matter where they drop, Two duos knock on their door, and they wipe both.
Let's slow it down for a second. Cammy is alive, and he's gotten 2 elims this game. Not sure about the status on Paco. Would love to get an update on them. But the danger is that Noah Riley and Vidil are here. You said it. Top 25 is where they need to be, and pretty much they'll start to ride in towards the placement points. Paco gets another one onto Skype. Yes. Okay. Things might be still interesting yet for that first place spot.
I think it was in game 3 and 2, whenever Paco and Cammy got an elim, right before that 6th zone popped, we would see them get at least towards that top 5. So they're getting a huge refresh right now, probably in a big base, just like Bad Sniper.
And Bad Sniper and Kura, they need it. I mean, materials are looking pretty decent. Bad Sniper's clearly opting to look at it. Oh, hold that thought for a second. Paco and Cammy are on height. Now that is a big threat to Noah Riley and Vidil, but is it big enough threat? Really quickly before we move on from that, Kura and Bad Sniper are actually in 4th place, so the elim that they got and the impact that they get will move them forward. Surprisingly too, Noah Riley and Vidil are below Surge.
Below Surge, they have an entire zone, I think, to figure that out, though. Just need 1 pump's worth of damage. 1 Stark Rifle beam, but it's gold ARs they have, so it'll have to be a headshot. 2 shockwaves, 2 perspectives, 2 different islands, though, of points that these guys are on. Although in 4th place, Kura and Bad Sniper are close to being 100 points behind. I think they're more than 100 points behind Vidil and Noah Riley.
Yes.
Still, they're above Surge. 22 teams now. Everyone dropping like flies. Robabs takes out Hen.
Oh, Vidil down
on the Mazen and Podesai. Vidil is down.
That's right above where Kura is and Bad Sniper. So it's now all left to Noah Riley.
But it's business as usual. Every game, one of these guys go down, as much as even the 4th zone, and somehow stay alive through the weirdest and hardest rotations to make. It was the dam before. At one point, Stark Industries. What will Noah Riley do now to keep everything alive?
For it.
He's on height.
He's still going for these shockwaves up to height. Dangerous. Cammy and Paco are the players up there, so if he can grief them, it's perfect. Noah Riley does take out 1. Moaka goes down. So he gets another 5 points. He's already up in the top 20. That's 5 more points in terms of placement, plus the elims that he's rolling in. Still a healthy as well. Cammy gets knocked out the sky. It's Jaspe and Mariah who have now taken it from them. Paco is the only person holding on to their chances at catching up, and Noah Riley is still alive.
He's blended down into the low ground, though, and there's so many different duels around him. Mariah and Jaspe, though, angry. They've been taken out mid-game, being in the perfect positions by Scram and Ref's guard every single time. Now they have a chance to play 1 game out and see if it's possible. Pablo gets wiped out by Clement. Bad Sniper and Kura taking the place of where Savage and Benji would be, all the way close to the left side of low ground. Meanwhile, though, Noah Riley's still alive. On the backside, though, he's on big focus by Kura, and Bad Sniper, he's taken out. He's wiped and frozen in time on what I would assume around 290 points.
Maybe even higher than that. Mariah and Jasper are going to start to rise up as well. Try for this. Kura and Bad Sniper on the right side of the screen. 217 points for them. They've now tied the position that Cammy and Paco were at. But Kura goes down just as we say that. Bad Sniper gonna try to actually get Kinzel down. Also playing the zone. He only has the small fry too. No floppers available. They'll last him a little bit, but not too long. Can he get back in the zone? Yes, he will. Zinni's on the backside of this too. And Bad Sniper. We'll get him. We'll get the siphon. We'll still survive. We're now into that 9th zone. A minute left on the game. Bad Sniper's still holding on.
Steelix and Shelby, though, were so powerful and strong. They got chipped down heavily. And now just have a few minis and a little bit of white effective HP to be able to move forward. Mariah and Jasper are looking the healthiest. Bad Sniper, though, is still trying to make a miracle run possible. Here's Jasper with the breakdown and drop shots over and over again. Steelix cannot even pay attention. If he doesn't even looks up, he gets beamed down. A big pump by Jasper, though. Mariah and Jasper are running the server down. Chacos gets eliminated. 5 duos left. Drop down still. Steelix gets down too. Mariah has picked him up. And they are alive, just dropping down punishment overall on everyone here in game 5. How high can they actually reach, though, in these points leaderboards?
Somehow, some way, though, Bad Snipers actually survived into this. Jaspe finally gets in his box. He's trying to duel it out. He's still alive. Still gets another points through, but Jaspe will finally put him down. Now it's a 2 versus 1. Kaizen, the last player remaining. Oh, Marine is down. Maybe a turn. Kaizen, can you do it? It's Jaspe. And he will get a tag as the zone does the rest. Kaizen goes down. Jaspe, Marine take it away from Cammy and Paco. Their chances, their hopes are now gone.
A 10 elimination win. How far does it actually make them rise? Where are Vidil and Noah Riley? We will find out right after this final break.